Hello and good morning to you, all you miniatures enthusiasts out there on the interwebs. This is Doc Eon coming to you on another Monday, this one the 22nd of February 2021, with some miniatures to ramble about. And we're starting out with the Reaper Bones stuff, well, most of it. These are figures from the latest Kickstarter, the Bones 4. These are some Lost Valley expansion. We have some cave people. Not sure if, looking through the camera here, the difference in color between the furs and the skin color on this one is perhaps not so noticeable, but it looks okay in person. And these sculpts and casts are pretty rough, so I didn't spend that much time painting them. They're just, yeah, really simple. But I like their idol, and I like the snake. I mentioned that I painted the snake before in metal. It's not exactly the same. The metal version of this has a more advanced head with some frills on it. They simplified it for the Bones version, so it doesn't look exactly the same. I painted a red snake this time. I got a lot of green and blue snakes, so some variety. And the idol here has some offerings of fruit. It's a fertility symbol, so it should be something like that. And yeah, simple enough to paint, but I think fairly effective. So that's them. And we move on to some metal Reaper minis. These are various small dinosaurs. We have these, well, kind of raptor-like things in the front. They're too big to be actual velociraptors, but you know, they're more like the velociraptors from the pseudo-velociraptors from Jurassic Park or something. And in the back we have some slightly larger ones. And I made these are more naturalistic, more kind of greenish, and I went with some interesting dark blue colors here. I've taken inspiration from some artistic inspirations of artistic interpretations of what dinosaurs might have looked like. I mean, nobody really knows, of course. But yeah, not too complex. I mean, some artists like to do really complex patterns with lots of stripes and a riot of colors. I thought this is not really a big enough canvas for that. Just keep it simple, but I think it's effective enough. So, please depend on those. And to top this off, I finished the Triceratopsis. I don't know what the plural of Triceratops is. So we have the metal and the bones versions, and I painted them very differently. I started the metal version. It's just shades of brown, and it's kind of dark. And I tried to go for sort of the paint scheme here on the box. Mine turned out darker, because it was too bright, and I shaded down and shaded down and shaded down, and eventually it turned out, ooh, it's a little bit too dark perhaps, but I didn't want to go over it and highlight it up again. I thought, it's interesting. Having a really dark version is okay. I kind of like it because it has some bright spots, highlights, and the fact that I didn't matte it down completely. There is gloss varnish plus matte varnish, so it has kind of satin effect. And that provides some highlights in the light. And it's, yeah, I think it looks fine. But to contrast this, I painted the other one, the Bones version, very bright and cartoony, and I went with a kind of dual-colored paint scheme here, blue and orange. And, I don't know, just pure fantasy. Weirdness. Not based on anything at all except my own imagination. So, I don't know. You tell me, does it work? It's kind of an experiment, a long shot. but you gotta take your chances sometimes. So anyway, that was all the completed stuff this week, and it is quite a lot. So that's yeah, I'm satisfied with my completion rate so far. Let's move on to works in progress. I've already gotten started, got a jump start on these Bones figures from the Lost Valley set. They're not only prep based and primed, they've also got some sloppy base coats on them. Just roughing it in to see where I want to go with it. There's a lot of refinement still to go, of course, like with this Runehorn hut. But the general direction for these raptors, because the smaller dinosaurs I painted so far have been mostly blue or green, how about some red raptors this time? Just for variety's sake. That's the plan. So these, yeah, they're well on the way. Well, here we see the metal minis I prepped, and they're not primed yet. They're ready for priming. In fact, I'm going to prime them probably as soon as I turn off the camera. I could have primed them before filming, but I wanted to show you them pre-paint, just to show you what I've done. So what I do when I have these sort of irregular sized integral bases, I put them on a plastic base. That's the approximate size, and I add some basing grit. And in this case, I decided to add some more scenery. So from my bits box, I took this animal head skull and this bit of an arm holding an arrow or something. These skulls, these animal skulls, and in this one as well, are from a specialized bag of skulls that I bought. Whereas things like this arm and this head are just leftover bits on sprues from various plastic kits I've painted over the years. I believe this is from a Games Workshop mini, while this is Mantic. I think something like that. I see here I could have filed down this mold line a bit better, but nah, it's not gonna matter. So with the characters here, in this case, the girl and her pet lizard were part of a kit. This is what was included in the blister pack from Bombshell Ventures. I added this resin base, which is from some company that makes resin bases, and then I added this metal claw, which is also from my bits box, just for some more scenery. Here we have a Reaper miniature. This is the one with the mask. I decided not to glue the mask on. This is going in my bits box. I don't know if I'll use this for something else sometime in the future, perhaps. But right now, we'll leave it alone. Again, another resin base. I wanted one that was kind of flat to accommodate her wide stance, and it looked a little bit lacking, so I added another severed head for my bits box. I thought, she's some sort of voodoo priestess. She's holding a voodoo doll. I thought maybe in some pictures I thought she was holding like a human heart that she ripped out, but no, it's a doll. But she does have a sort of sacrificial dagger here, which looks nasty. Now this cat girl, I just put on a resin base, a jungle base. This is busy enough. I don't need to add anything more to it, I believe. And finally, we have the Aztec priestess, which also turns out to be a cat girl. She has little cat ears and this tail. Now, in this case, I didn't use a resin base because she came with a tab for a slaughter base, and because she's kind of leaping up in the air or flying or something, and the figure is actually supported on her, just her tail. I didn't. If I'd cut off the tab and just tried to pin that, that would have been just one very small point of contact. And I thought having the tab in the slotted base gave it more support. So then I built up a pile of, severed body parts around her. I think all of these are mantic bits from their skeleton and zombie or ghoul, and maybe all three kits. They came with a lot of extra parts. So yeah, and I stuck it on with Uhu glue. I got some of these strands of glue. I'll fix that for priming. Anyway, so this shows you a little bit of my process, but once paint gets on it, it's all going to look a lot more unified. Trust me. Now, there's no new arrivals this week, so let's go straight into new projects. So, from the Lost Valley expansion, Bones 4, I picked out some more Stone Age cave people. These 4 are known as the Clan of the Black Bear, and they're shaggy-haired dudes in a lot of furs, generally speaking. One with a club, one with a spear, one with a bow, and one with a sort of torch and some other sort of thingy, like a flint dagger there. Well, anyway, they're kind of a matched group. Then we have some animals. We have the Carnotaurus, which is a dino, and we have a woolly mammoth. With some pieces. Those pieces, the tusks and the ears, have to be glued in. So that's 6 figures. To complement that, I found in my collection this guy. You might recognize him. It's, as far as I can tell, the exact same mini. This is the Carnotaurus in metal, an older kit. So, yeah, they look pretty much identical. And they're both from Reaper, so that makes sense. Yeah. So we can paint them up and do a side-by-side comparison if they... I mean, the detail looks comparable, so that'll be cool. I actually have another mammoth. This is not identical. This is from a completely different company. Oops. Camera fell over. So this is not from Reaper. This is from a French company called Fenril, and these are resin models. And this particular box contains a mammoth and a rhinoceros, as you can tell from the label. Here's the pieces. So this is a the horn must be separate somewhere. Better view here. So the mammoth is in 2 parts, and the rhino is a woolly rhino, and its horns are somewhere in here. I think those are the... Oops, we can't tell. Those are the rhino. Here are the tusks for the mammoth, and that's the rhino horn, I believe. Yeah, but the mammoths are of a comparable size. The resin one might be a tad larger. I think the head looks larger, but yeah, it'll be an interesting comparison. So yeah, that's only a total of 9 minis, but several of them are larger than your average 28mm figure. So I've got a lot of surface to cover with paint. That's okay. But yeah, we're getting through this. There's only this stuff left in the box. So yeah, we're finished for this week. It's time to bid you goodbye. I hope you click the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't done so before. And join me again in a week. Same day of the week, same channel, same Dakian, who's now signing off.